Hi, welcome to the 1 Liter Podcast. You will watch us drinking 1 liters of beer whilst talking about shies. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to the 1 Liter.
Prost!
Prost!
Ah ja, Hefeweizensalat.
Hefeweizensalat. What are we drinking, Joel?
Franziskaner Hefeweizen.
Oh, nailed it.
Did I?
Yeah. pretty much.
Hefeweizen?
Hefeweizen.
Weizen is light, right? White, light?
Weizen is wheat.
Oh, right, Weizen. And Hefe is...
Exactly your favorite, you know?
Yeah.
Weizen.
What's Hefe?
Hefe is...
Hefeweizen.
Isn't that... Hefe? Isn't that yeast? I think it's yeast, maybe.
Yeast wheat! Shit, that's going to
Yeast
fuck me
und
up.
wheat. That's going to fuck your shit up.
Anyone listening, I've slowly formed a deep intolerance to wheat and yeast. So,
Deepest.
fuck. Say goodbye to my ass. I'm going to be blowing the volcanoes out of my stinker.
All right, I didn't even pause you and then
But it's
take
so good.
Let's take a big
Pause.
fat gulp, you know? Oh,
I love
right up in my
German beer,
shot.
bro. It's the best.
Hefeweizen!
Hefeweizen. Mm. You can really taste the
Oh,
You can really taste the Rhine in it.
the Reinheitsgebot, yeah.
So, do you have some fun fun for me?
Feels fun fact.
Wait, can I just say real quick before
Yes,
we do the fun
yes,
facts?
of course, always.
We got off the podcast last week, and you and I just started to just rap, and we actually did
that was
pretty
dope.
fucking good, bro. Like, I was thinking, would you maybe for this podcast towards the end, we'll spit some bars?
Spit some lines.
Let's
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
I'm pretty sure you were the one spitting lines, and I was just putting one line in as like a catalyst, and then you had to just build on that
You were
one
the,
line.
You were the ad libs, eh?
Yeah. I was like,
Doosin.
I was like, okay, cool, here we go. And then we'd come up with a topic, and I would say one line, and then you'd have to rap on it.
Yeah.
And then I just repeat the things that you said. I was the backup vocals.
Yeah. Hey, you did a bang up job, bro.
It was, yeah. I mean, we were even flow last episode.
Fuck yeah. And so are these new coasters.
Yeah. Do you know what? They also won't stick to the glass like last time.
Mm-hmm. Efficiency.
Right. Phil's fun fact. Did you know that the Eiffel Tower grows up to 6 inches in summer with the heat? It's
I
a full
thought-
metal structure. It expands,
Right. Like
Growing.
wood.
growing 6 inches
No shit.
in summer.
You know how like when it's like damp, wet weather, like wooden doors and shit are a bit hard to close because
Yeah.
they expand. I didn't know metal expanded.
Metal expands with heat.
You
I
know-
think the wooden doors is like when it's moist.
True. I legit thought for a second you were gonna say it expands because like birds shit on it and enough bird shit increases the height. Probably for the Statue of Liberty, but that's
yeah,
funny.
maybe. Yeah, the flame just goes big, and like when it rains, it's smaller. When it's dry for a while,
When it
or the-
rains, it pours.
that's right.
Isn't that a weird thing to say? When it rains, it pours. When I shit, I'm likely to piss at the same time.
Well, when I poop, it comes out, all of it.
What's that lame thing? Not all pee-pee times are poo-poo times, but every poo-poo time is pee-pee time. It's so
I've
fucking
never
lame.
heard that in my life.
Yeah, it's like a fucking meme thing now.
Oh no.
So I don't really have a lot to discuss today. Like, so I told you I've been reading the Pax Romana,
Mm.
which is like it's basically translate to Roman peace, right?
Roman.
It's what the
peace.
Romans did. So it's an interesting book because like the Romans took over, and obviously there was a lot of subjugation, a lot of annihilation, a lot of having people fall under their purview of taxes and things like that. But surprisingly, a lot of the places, every new generation, there would be revolts, maybe 2 different attempts at revolting, let's say out in Gaul, which is like modern day France or Germania or even Britain. But besides that, there was usual peace, right?
Mm.
So like even though ancient Rome toppled eventually, ancient Rome lasted longer than any other dynasty. Like the Mongolians or even the English conquered more territory than the Romans, but the rule of ancient Rome lasted longer than any other empire.
Really?
It's fascinating, dude.
Even
yeah.
like Chinese dynasties. Is it dynasties or dynasties?
Oh, it's however you want to potato dynasty.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can say dynasty, dynasty, dance.
I prefer dynasty.
Yeah,
Dynasty.
yeah. Do you say warrior or warrior?
Warrior.
That's the American way.
Is it?
Yeah, he's a fucking warrior.
Warrior.
The more English way would be like warrior.
He's a warrior.
I used to always say warrior, but now I try to say warrior.
Do you know what I feel like warrior is? I feel like it's more like he's a bit of a worry. He's a warrior. He worries a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
I also worry about a lot of things.
It's the
in my
only time
life.
I kind of agree with the Americans, though, like, because Americans will take any word and make it really literal. Melbourne, Brisbane, right?
Yeah.
But war, you call it war, Krieg, and you don't call it, I'm going to war. You call it, I'm going to war.
I'm going to war.
calling it warrior does seem more legit.
Yeah, because you're saying war in the word warrior.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like Americans like color and we say kalau.
Kalau, yeah. I hate when I'm like writing up an email or doing something, or like writing up a script
And
on
it
like
spell checks you on US.
Grammarly. Yeah, it's like
Grammarly does
you
it.
spelled it CLO with a U in it. It should be COLOR. It's like fuck you, Grammarly. I'm not changing it.
It should be cull hour.
Cull hour. Yeah, fuck off.
What other ones are like that? There's, you know which ones I hate more, which
Rasp.
affected me while I was trying to create accounts for the Van Liter podcast, is like liter or center. The actual
ER at the end of it.
Yeah,
And
whereas
the RE.
we're supposed to have RE, but ER just looks a lot more normal.
Yeah. When
Liter, not litre.
Litre, yeah. Very
We're
French.
drinking 1 litre of beer.
How do they say it in Deutsch? What's liter?
Liter.
Liter?
Liter.
RE?
I'm pretty sure it's the same spelling. Yeah.
RE? Yeah.
Liter, yeah. Also,
I
speaking of...
like it, man. I like it. It looks fancier. I like it with the RE. I don't like the ER.
Oh, really? You like the litre?
Yeah, like
the centre.
theater, like theater. THEATRE instead of ER. Theater.
Yeah, I suppose. It looks real fancy when you're looking at a word like Centrelink, you know?
Centrelink.
Centrelink.
Yeah, Centrelink. Yeah. Linksget.
Centrelink. What a place, eh?
Mm.
Hey, I was going to say, speaking of German,
Mhm.
because we're drinking the Hefe Weissbier,
Frank.
anyone that knows how to pour a German beer knows that this is the wrong glass to be having a Hefe Weissbier.
Does it have to be clay?
It's got to be in the tall, skinny glasses, but they're 500 ml max.
Why is
So-
that? Why? Because the ingredients has to less area to move around.
Look,
What if we kept staring every now and then? Would that work?
I don't know why that is the case. Someone please educate me. But I just know there's probably a reason. It's probably not like how Germans speak, how you just have to know which object is what gender to put its pronoun to it. Like, that's fucking stupid. Like, we're just like, yeah, the everything.
Mm.
The just means everything. The glass, the table, the stand, the ceiling. Germans, 9. Everything is different. But I suppose the Spanish have that as well. They got la and el. So that's like male and female for
Portuguese
things.
as well, yeah.
Portuguese.
Ooh and
Whereas the Germans
Oh.
have the feminine, the masculine, and then the neutral, like der, like
So
just
like-
an object. It doesn't even get a
a
fucking gender.
cat is classed as feminine, a dog's masculine.
Der Hund. No, a dog. Das.
Das
Yeah,
Hund.
yeah. Der Hund,
Der
is,
Hund.
is masculine.
It's
yes.
der and da.
Die Katze is feminine.
Die and da.
And das is just an object.
Right,
You're
so
just a fucking das.
so das Boot is like
Das
it's
Boot
inanimate
is wrong.
object.
Is incorrect.
Right.
That's why it's funny to us Germans when he says Das Boot in the movie. Das Boot, because that's completely wrong.
Would it be der Boot?
Der Stiefel, yeah. If you want to
Stiefel.
say boot in German, der Stiefel. So it is a masculine, but because they're saying the English word, nobody knows what's actually right or wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so Das
So
Boot
he's
works.
saying the boot. He's saying like the English. So it should be the boot in German, der Stiefel.
I wonder how Germans are going with all this gender issue, you know? What if people are like, my glass does not identify as that.
Yeah.
My glass identifies as a male.
Do you know who is very much not open to that kind of shit?
Who?
The French, man. The French don't cop a fucking
They don't
thing,
give a
bro.
fuck.
French are like, the French will riot over anything. The French are like, you want to wear a fucking not a turban, even a turban. What are the thing?
Burqa.
Burqa. You want to
Yeah.
wear a burqa? Get the fuck out of our country. Like,
Yeah, that's
you want to be this, you want to be that, get the fuck. Oh, bro.
I
So
disagree with that, but
yeah. Like, here's the thing, right? I've been on the whole. I've been trying to educate myself on just what the fuck is going on with this transgender and all this shit. I will admit I was biased at first and I was just only watching Jordan Peterson videos.
Mm.
But I started to watch debates between randoms, not just Jordan Peterson, obviously, because like that'll be very immature of me to just focus on one person.
Mhm.
Very narrow-minded. Like, I'm all about women receiving equal opportunities as men, but we all know realistically that's not the case.
Mhm.
And then when you look at statistically, there's like men get paid more, this or that. It's like we do dangerous jobs, we work longer hours, women
Yeah,
have maternity
you get
leave.
into all that stuff
And then you
where
can look at like some men are like pay gaps different because some people have been in the company a lot longer and men are a lot more competitive. Women aren't going to fight the way men are. And then they say, well, why don't we
Most.
yeah.
that's the problem.
Yeah, most, yeah. And then the argument for some feminists are like, why don't we make workspaces less competitive so people can have equal opportunities? It's like, can't get anywhere if we don't compete.
Yeah,
We're a
and then
competitive
that's-
species.
Exactly.
We're a warrior species.
And that's exactly the point Peterson makes. I like Peterson's point. He can come across as too extreme, but he's very thought through in his opinions. And like opportunity of outcome is what he says is
Absolutely.
the bad thing, because like you said, if you made everything a level playing field, for instance, like they did in communism, like what is the incentive for you to achieve? There is none.
Pure complacency, yeah.
There is no incentive for you to achieve. You just, I'm not getting rewarded for doing better. Why would I do better?
Exactly, yeah.
So there's always going to be a gap.
Yeah, and again, like, it's just something that society have to face as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so anyways, in saying all that, I'm at Newtown Station last weekend. I went into Newtown to get some, because I don't like using like aerosol and shit for like deodorants. I like to use like natural organic roll-ons, and like I like to.
What do you use? Do you use like aluminium free deodorant?
Of course, yeah.
Yes.
It's all organic stuff. Yeah. I can't remember what the brand is called. Jesus. But I'm sitting there at the train station, right? Waiting for my train to come, and this chick on the opposite side catching the train going the other way was like just everything that I've grown to like dislike about like those militant idiot feminists who just like if someone came up to them and said, "So you think this?" "Yeah. But if you think this, what about this?" "Fuck you," and then walks away. I'm not answering this. I'm not going to look like an idiot on the internet. Like she was one of those ones. Like she was talking to someone on the phone about how she's went on a date with a guy, and like he was just like he was like it sounded like a normal fucking dude, but she was like, and he was like saying this and he was saying that, and it was like, get with the fucking program. Things are changing, this and that, and like and like the patriarchy, and he was just like, and he tried. I guess he felt awkward that we weren't talking, so he tried to make a joke, typical like mansplaining patriarchy, and she was just saying all this shit, and I legit went like, looked over my shoulder and looked at her, and she looked up at me with like scorn on her face, and I was like, bitch, I'm not looking away, like let's do this. And I was expecting her to be like, are you fucking right looking at me? And I was just I wasn't like angry first, I was just like looking at her, and she was like turned and walked and kept talking on her phone. And it was the first time I was stuck in a situation where I was like, because I've been watching videos on YouTube for so long of like men and women going to like colleges or like being in like big halls and like talking to feminists or like trans people, and like, so it was the first time I encountered a real one, dude, not just on like an American college or something. And I was like, holy shit, these people are like
they're real.
They're in Australia. Holy shit, like
they
it's
walk
crazy.
around, man.
Yeah,
they're among us.
Yeah, like if you'd never seen like a Shaolin monk and then you saw one for the first time, you'd be like, oh shit, you know? That was what it was like. And I was like, and it was so funny because my algorithm at the time was all about that shit. So I was like, oh my God, am I going to get into a debate with this chick?
You're like, oh my God, Google knows about my algorithm, and they've placed one in front of me in real life.
Yeah.
Product placement. Dun, dun, dun.
So, I mean, but like we were saying last time in the podcast that hasn't been even uploaded yet, but we will get it out. It's like,
well, you'll see this one after that one.
exactly. But it's like what we were saying. I don't remember the quote, but it's like tough men fight wars so people can live soft lives, and soft men create wars.
Hard men create easy times create soft men.
Yeah.
Soft men create hard times. Yeah.
And here's the weird thing. With all this shit going on, do you know what kind of seems appealing to me? With all this like crazy shit, like, you know, people being disrespectful and rude, the world going to shit, like women selling their body because they don't want to work hard. So OnlyFans is a thing. Everyone's like, Earth at the moment is just full of anarchy, man. There's so much like dissidence and strife, and everyone hates each other. And there's like, and I was thinking about it. I was like, I was actually shocked to be like, man, having Christian values was actually quite beneficial. Like, I'm not talking about I want to convert to a Christian because my mind has seen and been in too many scenarios where I question the existence of a deity. But like, I don't know about the sex before marriage thing, but like saving yourself for someone,
I don't know about that, but yeah.
going to counseling, like not like reducing divorce, all that things, like having morals, being patient with someone, being kind to people, just not being selfish, not like just all the morals that Christianity predominantly, well, I don't want to say, you know, that kind of stuff is like, it's like, would we be in the situation we are now if those things were still super prevalent? No way.
The thing is, we say like, oh, our society now is this. Everyone hates each other now. But like, there was a lot of shit going on all the time. Like, everyone living in every time is like, oh, shit's real bad.
Totally.
Shit's real bad at the moment. It was great in the 1400s. Maybe not in the 1400s, but
Nah, bro, yeah.
shit was fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's like, oh, it used to be good, but now it's shit. And it's just how we think. That's just how we go. But like, then you do a comparison of, for instance, if people are like, oh my God, there's so many kidnappings and stuff, and we have to have safe houses, and all the kids have to be safe and stuff like that. There is so much less of all violence in the world now than there was ever before.
Racial prejudice,
like
all that shit.
Yeah, if you want to look at murder to population rates, is the lowest it's ever been in history.
100%, yeah.
So but also the population is the largest it's ever been.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's just too much ease of access of information, and then falsifying information is easy, and communication is easy. Like, imagine before people had last names. Imagine before people could even travel easily from town to town. All the communication
bandits
you
on
had,
the street and shit.
yeah, but all the communication you had was just your neighborhood. All your friends were in your neighborhood because you didn't know anyone from anywhere else, because you didn't see them unless you went for a half a day carriage,
3-day ride, with a note
horse
or like
and
a
carriage,
horse messenger or something. Yeah,
to the next town, and then you might meet someone, and then you might go, oh, I remember that person. His name was also John. Oh.
Yeah.
John? And you're John? I'm John, but you're John.
Yeah.
But I'm John von this town. And you're John from that town. Hey, let's just put another name. I'm John von Grubenglag.
Yeah.
And you're John from Heinehaut.
Yeah, I'm John Heinehaut. How are you?
Yeah.
Good point. And another thing is like, things were crazy familiar back then. Like, there was so much more loyalty and deep human kindness, because like, if let's say you're out in let's say you're in like southern France, right, in like a rural area, and you're like, your fucking village gets burnt down or something like that, and then you like run for miles, and then you find this like small farm town out of nowhere, and you've got a wound on you, and you're like dysentery, and you're gonna pass out, and this like little family take care of you, nestle you back to health, nurse you back to health, right? And then you're like, oh, these people saved me. I don't have another town. I don't know where another town is. They point to another town. Okay. So you end up end up staying with these people for like 3 years and then decide to move on. Maybe you fuck
You're
their
working
daughter
on
and
their
shit.
you're
Fuck,
working on
yeah,
their farm.
yeah.
You make love to their daughter,
Yeah. So
and
it's
then
like
they're like, if you
small worlds, dude.
there is another town 6 miles out away.
Yeah, take our daughter, and then you like start. Yeah. So, and another thing, it's like, let's say there's a kingdom, right? And this king wants to take over this whole country. But again, like you said, there's not a lot of communication going on. Maybe for the major cities, but there's smaller townships outside of these big castles, right? And so, very burpy.
The Weizen beer is getting you.
So anyways, there's like a local sheriff, right? And this king who wants like this foreign king or something takes over half the country, comes up to this local kingdom, takes it out. All the people who try to escape and warn the local villagers get arrows in the back. And then this local sheriff, they're like, we'll kill you, or you lower the false sense of security around the towns around us, and we'll let you become the mayor of this new fucking region, right? So he's like, done. So let's say half of Sydney is like a medieval country, right? Let's say Sydney is a medieval country. Half of Sydney's been taken out. Let's say Centennial Park, where we are now, is just a town. And next door is like the local lord. The closest thing to a lord is like maybe 200,000 meters away, right? So any issues that people have, any stately issues that people have in this small town, they'll ride out, and the lord of the king who appointed the lord of this area will say, what's the dispute over? Bread? Split the bread in half, you both get a piece. Fuck off. What? This guy took your sheep, killed it and ate it, cut his head off, go home. We'll execute him, hang him from the fucking gallows, whatever, something like that, right? Let's say the person who appointed, so the king appointed that guy, but then there's also a fucking like a deputy who takes care of all the towns and then reports back to that lord in that castle in Moore Park, for instance, right? That guy gets killed. The king and the lord of that. Please tell me if I'm not explaining this well. The lord of
I'm so lost in
the
it.
lord of that local castle gets killed by this army, and then the dude who runs errands gets all the information for the local towns, reports back to the local lord, the councillor, we should say, is like, holy shit, don't kill me. And they're like, you're the guy who goes around to all these little towns, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, go around, tell them that nothing's wrong, and we're going to invade. And then we will make you the new lord of this castle we've just killed the master of. Okay. So because there's no mobile phones and internet, and there's no riders running with papers because they've all been killed, you're just living your life in your town. Next minute, you wake up one morning, you go outside, there's 300 soldiers burning your fucking huts, taking your sheep and shit to eat and your cattle, raping the women, and you're like, holy fuck, and you try to get your family out of there, and then they get butchered. And then you're either sold as a slave, or you fucking escape to another kingdom and then try to join their resistance and destroy this new foreign king who's coming over. That's how fucked shit was, dude.
We're a fucked up species.
Fucking oath we are. So like, certainly we're not living in the worst times in the world. And
No way.
That isn't lost on me. But
You're talking about values.
there'd be a huge reduction in just like the hatred we have towards each other if we just found if we were just calmer in life, and we because that's the thing, like pride is a huge thing, but like things like having honor is like almost non-existent now. Things like respect for each other is almost non-existent. Like obviously human beings around, like Australia in particular, people respect each other, but like if I'm in America and I fucking like, there's always good people. I'm not saying there's no good people anywhere, especially America, but like I feel like in countries like that, if I set up cameras everywhere and I dropped my wallet, they would take my wallet and run away with it.
Probably do that here too.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you set up like secret cameras and then one person be like, "Excuse me, sorry for you." Well, like the statistically, it's probably like 7 out of 10 people will probably run off with the wallet, right? So it's like, but no, back in the day, people thought, God will punish me if I steal from my neighbor, like
It was very simple though. It was just all fear driven. And that's how they used that's how the religions got used and abused. It turned from
Totally.
values into people using it for power. Like, oh, if you sin, don't
Ye-
be sinning, and these are the rules that I set.
Mhm.
And if you sin against those rules, God will punish you.
Mhm.
It's like a secret weapon.
It
People
fucking
just
worked
like,
though.
yeah, people were just like, okay, God will punish me.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like at the bottom line is like fear.
Fear.
Humans are,
We still are.
yeah,
That's what
totally.
media does. It's just fear mongering.
Here's an interesting thing that I never looked at the timeline. Like, you know, the Bronze Age, the Iron Age, you've got the Dark Ages, Middle Ages, and then like the Elizabethan era and all those other kind of things, the Tudors and all that stuff. I don't know the timelines for them. I don't know why it's called the Dark Ages, but in this novel I'm reading now, when the Roman Empire fell, that's what spurned the Dark Ages, dude.
Oh, I bet.
Because the
they
Roman
were huge, right?
Roman Empire took over. Roman Empire had most of Europe and North Africa, right? And the Mediterranean, all that shit. When the Roman Empire fell, all those provinces that were still governed by Rome lost that Roman influence. So now everyone's like, holy fuck, the Romans are gone. I'm going to be in charge. Fuck you. I'm going to be in charge. And then it was just like, boom, 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 clash, clash, clash.
It's just like
the Dark Ages,
yeah.
bro. Yeah.
It's literally like if we had just lost our government, which sadly is kind of still happening.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I'm going to get this wrong, but I think it was Afghanistan when we first invaded or something.
Afghanistan, baby.
Not we, but when the Americans first invaded after 9/11 or something, they were like, they attacked a few places, and then instead of, they were hoping that people would just come out of the woodworks and go, oh, okay, well, we can do this. Like, yeah, we'll cooperate. But everyone just sort of went, yeah, the Americans saved us. And then it was like nobody stepped forward, and
responsibility.
Officials just went, oh, well, we're out. And they just bailed. And then it just became chaos because it was like, well, now it's just a military run, barren place where people are just like, hey, who's in charge? I don't know.
Yeah.
It just became a mess.
It was fucked, eh?
So the same thing back in the olden days, it was like, well, yeah, it's a mess, but hey, I'm an alpha. No, I'm an alpha.
Yeah.
Let's see who's more alpha.
Yeah. Here's the interesting thing as well. Good point. When you look at countries like Australia, for instance, and then you look at countries like Africa, they hadn't leveled up in ingenuity wise, right? That's why it was so easy for like slavery to like kick off in like Africa, obviously, because people didn't have arms and people weren't defending themselves. They were still, in tribes and living that free life, And then you've got obviously Australia, which was untouched by any other civilization for thousands and thousands of years, the ancient, right? And they didn't need these kind of things. But when you look at Europe, obviously there's a lot of natural resources that made Europe so popular, right? Roaming hills, like agriculture, wheat, barley, all that shit. Like, so obviously there were those advantages, but at the same time, perhaps Europeans were so much more advanced by the time they got to Africa and decided, hey, we can conquer these people and you make them as slaves, because obviously, again, agriculture and trade was obviously a huge thing. Africa is a lot like Australia. There's not a lot to offer. Obviously, there's things like diamonds and ore and oil and mining and all that stuff, but that stuff probably wasn't as popular back then. So they didn't have like a good spice trade, maybe. They didn't have good clothing like silk and other materials. So like they didn't have a lot of attention going on. But so obviously you've got trade, which was huge in Europe, and then you've got resources, which is huge in Europe because Europe's an abundance of like agriculture and culture and other things. But at the same time, I think what made what made white people in particular, Caucasians, so dominant was war, dude. Because Europe was
They invented the tools to just kill each other more efficiently.
Yeah.
We're fucking psychos.
And with war came other things that ingenuity, obviously because field medics needed to get better. So like you've got these people dissecting human beings and taking notes, and you had like early apothecaries and medicine, and then doctors, and then like halls full of like, like scholars. So you've got war. I feel like our species has grown due to war. It's been like the major driving factor. And I could be 100% wrong. Anyone could challenge me. But personally, from what I've seen and experienced, as bad as war is, and it is fucking bad, and it is against our nature, like we are violent, aggressive creatures, but like deep down inside, human beings don't want to kill each other, dude.
It's
It's
a
painful
thing.
for us. It hurts human beings. It's not like any human being. How many human beings have you seen come out of a war zone and been like, I'm a better person for it? I feel
Well,
nothing.
yeah.
It's against our nature to kill one another, dude. So like,
Well, I think we put war into this category now, but what you're saying is like it's the conflict for territory that has driven us to invent more shit.
precisely. And not just like regular shit, not just armor and swords, but like
Well, that's where it started,
yeah,
right?
but medicine, science,
Yeah, right.
physics,
The healing
architecture,
time,
yeah.
healing quicker, the morphine, all
Exactly.
that kind of
Yeah,
shit. Like, oh,
battlements.
this chemical can do this.
Yeah.
Oh, this chemical can make you suffer less while we're stitching up your leg.
Exactly. Oh, hang on a minute. We're held up in this castle for so long. People are going to die of disease and stuff, so we need to burn the bodies. Okay, cover your faces so you're not, when you're burning bodies because you could get sick. Black plague. Hang on a minute. If we're all stuck in this little small kingdom and they're besieging us, what are we going to do with all the waste? We need to create sewage. We need to create tunnels and piping. Romans did that, obviously.
Mhm.
Hey, we can't keep trudging entire armies along these roads because it's muddy, and we can't carry horses along these grassy hills because they're going to get bogged in. Paving roads. Romans made roads.
Hey, check this out. If we mix this with water and then mix it like this and then let it dry, it becomes really firm and hard. Yeah.
Exactly.
Big time.
Hey, if we take this volatile substance and we do this and that, and then we spark this and that, we have fireworks. Hey, China,
Boom.
Chinese, we have gunpowder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the big thing about what the English did, right? Because people were still doing like swords and shit, and then the English were like, "Hey, check it out, we got some guns." So they literally just would walk up with their armies and just be like, "Yeah, da 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 da, thump thump thump," load their little guns,
Hell
blow
yeah.
people's heads off, thump thump. And
Yeah.
people were like, "Holy shit, what the fuck's going on?"
And what about things as like the English had like the English were notorious for longbows, bro. The English longbow was like legit gangster as fuck. Nobody could compete with the English longbow. And they actually found skeletons of dead archers, English archers, and their arm that held the bow was like extended.
Whoa!
Like it was like the bones were different in the arm. So like,
they would be,
and then
yeah.
there's obviously mathematics involved. We need to fire these arrows at this distance to kill these enemies. We have crossbows now. How far is that? We need to measure how fucking far this is.
Can you imagine how that came about? So you're an archer, right? And you're figuring it out, right? You're just like, oh, well, if I shoot it up like this at this velocity, that's gonna land over there. Oh, so I gotta aim down a little bit. That's gonna land there. And then someone's like, yeah, you gotta teach these 10 guys. And you're like, okay, and then you start thinking like, how do I explain this? Okay, you got to shoot at this angle. If you want the target there, you work out how far away it is. You got to shoot and you got to aim up and you work out the angle by this and da-da-da-da-da. Like, how the fuck?
Yeah.
And then you start working out trajectory and like how the thing's going to fly and fall.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of shit.
And then like one of the people that's there is like, excuse me, sir, I noticed that the string that we use to pull this back, or the wood that we're using for the bow, is quite brittle. My great aunt is from this tribe or this forest area of Gaul or fucking Poland or whatever, right? And there's a very hard tree there, but it's very flexible. Can I show you? Cuts that out, gets a fucking blacksmith or someone to build it. What do you think of this? I love it. Hang on a minute. That's weird. This tree also produces this weird sap. It's not edible, but it's this or that. And it's actually quite sturdy, but insulated as well. Oh, what is this? A rubber tree. Oh, maybe we can make shoes out of this, or gloves, or some kind of like, we can put it under our armor, underneath the leather. Just
Boom.
like crazy shit. dude.
Crazy
And
how,
it just
how
evolves.
things just got invented.
Yeah, but it's like one thing. So it's just like, again, people living in a small little village, it gets attacked, they have to flee thousands and thousands. Maybe they flee 2 countries over to this other country. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Spain. What the fuck are you doing in Switzerland? Oh, hey, I notice you guys are using this kind of stuff. Back in my country, we had this. Let me ask my king about this.
Yeah.
King, this person here has this. All right, get me some of this material. I want to see how good it is. Oh, what's this? Okay, bam, I love it. Switzerland and fucking Spain have trading routes now. Wait, hang on a minute. Switzerland is actually enemies of this country who's invading Spain. Maybe we can actually, because trade's working out. Maybe we should change
We're getting all
things
that good
here.
shit
Yeah.
from there, so maybe we
King
should
of
help
Spain,
them.
King of Switzerland combine together, and then they attack another thing, and then they kill that, and then that's why there's cuisines and other things that
Yeah.
are different. So it's just like Europe in general, different cultures coming
Europe's
together.
crazy because it's just so close. Everything is so close, and they were all different countries. But like when we think about inventions and how shit got invented, like, oh, who came up with fucking glass? It wasn't who came up with glass. It's just like most things that were invented over a long period of time, exactly like that. Oh, what if we try this? Oh, my people did this, and then it just comes together. And then as you trade, you're like, and like trading as well. It wasn't like someone went, oh, I like that. Let's set up a trading route. If that wasn't a thing, it just became like a real casual, like, hey man, like I'll give you some gold if you can go over there with your boat that you have, get me this. This bloke says it's at this and this town. Get me this wood and I'll give you this gold. Oh, okay. Hey, this could be an ongoing arrangement. Like
Yeah.
people just came up with that shit.
Yeah. People literally play defense and offense.
Yeah. Whereas now people are doing the same thing. They're just like, hey, if I give you my Instagram handle and I add you, then you add me. And then we can send each other nudes.
Exactly. And maybe I'll pay you.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, if you pay me, I'll give you dirtier nudes.
Mm-hmm.
So just go onto my OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, yeah. And do you know what's scary about today's society is like entertainment-wise, everything's kind of been done, right?
Everything's been
And it's scary, dude. Like,
wow. I mean,
and
we
that's why-
still see shit and we're like, oh, that's funny, that's new.
yeah.
But it's like just a variant of something else, which is
Yeah.
fine.
yeah.
Like, what are we doing? We're on a podcast that's just like every other podcast. Like,
Yeah.
check this out. How fucking dope are these curtains?
These curtains are fucking
Is-
sick, dude. Do you know what I like
We're in a real
about-
podcast studio now, ladies and gentlemen. You got no idea.
Do you know what I like about our conversations, though? Our conversations, like any podcast you watch, people talk stuff. People are like, ha, yeah, I know what they're talking about. But you and me are just like, I feel like the conversations that you and I have are the kind of conversations where a boss will walk into an office and then like two people are talking. They'll be like, hey guys, what are you talking about? We're like, oh, we're just talking about like how like ingenuity of like Europe and like people living together. They'll be like, oh, fair enough. Like we have the kind of conversations that other people eavesdrop and go, oh yeah, they're talking fast.
Do you know what sparks our good conversation? It's
Course.
the kind of conversation you have with a 1 liter of beer and you
1
say,
liter, baby.
hey man, what the hell, man? Who invented a bow and arrow,
Mm.
bro?
Okay, great question. Right here, Philip Geet.
Right here, right now.
I am Lars. Hey Phil, where are you from?
Germany?
I was ask me.
Oh, sorry, I fucked
Hey
it up
Phil,
completely.
where are you from?
Far away.
All right, here we go. Are you ready? You can't use computers or rockets or nuclear weapons or anything like that. Non-technology. This is
non-technology.
your answer cannot be like
Looked up?
not technology as in like computers and hard wiring and all that stuff. Nothing electricity based. What is your favorite invention?
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah,
This is deep.
yeah, kann da
No electricity involved.
no electric invention. Nothing before, say, Edison made the bulb.
Oh, but there's so much stuff.
I know, just pick one. Ta me keine leuk als daarvoor. En Vlaza kon voor mij plekken.
No electricity. I'm going to have to think on this, man. Do you
Okay.
have one? Is that why you asked?
I think for me, I just instantly go to like gunpowder, right? Gunpowder.
That's your favorite invention. Have you ever used
Not-
gunpowder?
I've shot weapons before, yeah. But I mean, it's just like
What has gunpowder done for you
it
personally?
That's what it did for me. No, I think the greatest invention would
Oh, damn it.
probably be penicillin.
Well, now you're taking the
Or-
now you're taking the high road. I was talking personally, man. I thought you meant personally.
Okay,
What is
personally,
your favorite invention?
personally, from me, toilet paper.
Oh,
Halakana.
he's good.
Yeah.
He's good. I like that.
Or a water filter. No, it'd have to be toilet paper.
Plumbing, right?
Plumbing, bro.
Plumbing in general, like to
Yeah.
be able to flush your shit away and be like, that's gone now.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about that anymore.
I don't have to
Like,
sniff that.
Just think about nowadays, if your toilet blocks up, I don't think
Bro.
I've had a toilet block up in so long, but do you know when you take a real nasty in
Real
a
nasty.
toilet
Yeah.
and you wipe, and you got to wipe a lot, right?
It's like
It's-
wiping a marker.
Yeah. It's like a lot. And then you're like, okay, I've probably gone overboard with the toilet paper, and you flush and the water builds up.
So that happened to me recently at work.
Oh, and you
So I get-
freak. You have a panic. You have a mini panic.
I don't panic anymore because like if I never do it at home, but sometimes I'll take a shit at work, and for like not like when I say sometimes, I mean like once every like maybe 4 or 5 months, I'll take a
You
shit.
take a shit at work every 4 or 5 months?
No, it gets blocked up.
Okay. It gets bad. Yeah.
I go downstairs to this toilet at work. It's got a really nice view. You can see the Sydney Harbour Bridge and stuff. It's a
Nice.
really nice view. Nobody goes down there. One day recently, I went down there, took a shit, took a stank. Yeah. I took a shit, and just as I got out and I was washing my hands, it got blocked up. Like you said, I wiped and wiped and wiped and wiped and wiped. I was like, oh, just as I did this dude, he must have been like an auditor, came in. Well, I saw him in my rear view. He walked right over to my toilet where the view was, shut the door, opened it instantly, and walked into the other cubicle. And I looked, I was like this, I was like, I did like a little gremlin smile. I was like, fuck you piece of shit, eat that.
Smell that.
Smell that, yeah.
You smell that? That's the smell of victory.
Yeah, so yeah, but I think yeah, so there was one time actually, real quick, there was one time in the NT, the apartment that I was in had really, as soon as I got in there, a toilet kept getting blocked. And the plumber wouldn't come out for like 2 days. So for 2 days I had a fat turd
You'd have
blocked
to
in this
flush
toilet.
the turd, then wipe, flush, wipe,
No.
flush.
I'd have to, the water would build up, then it'd go down, but the paper wasn't going anywhere.
Mm.
So I'd have to flush just to get the smell out. And I'd have to and the NT's full of like little hoodlum thugs, right? So you had to like keep windows shut throughout the day. So it was real difficult to like not have the smell fester, right? The guy,
smell of festa.
the plumber comes in, fucking does his thing. Wasn't fucking finessed at all. Toilet water, shit, and the paper went everywhere. Left it for me to clean it up, the cunt as well. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't like nuggets of shit. It was just like toilet paper that I wiped my ass with. But I cleaned it all up, disinfected the place like you wouldn't believe, because I'm super clean freak in that regard. He found scissors. Someone had flushed scissors down the toilet, and apparently
man.
when I called the landlord and told him, they said, oh yeah, there was a kid, there was like a mother and a son, and the son was in his 20s, but he had like really bad Asperger's or whatever the fuck it is. He was on the spectrum and he flushed weird shit every now and then. So he'd flushed fucking like craft scissors down the toilet, blocked it up, and that cunt, whoever the fuck
Shit just got caught in it.
whoever that kid was, fuck you.
You know, but like that's what I mean. Like you're getting confronted with things that we're not used to anymore. Like your shit just flushes and it's gone.
Right.
Have you ever been to? No, you haven't been,
I haven't been to China, no.
No.
I had to squat over a hole and shit.
No,
Never.
no. You haven't been to South America, eh? Like.
I haven't. I haven't.
Like Brazil, Argentina.
I think I'd like to go.
Peru.
I don't think I'd like to go to. Dude, legit, man. I'd go to Mexico, but it'd have to be like a closed off, fuck cartels, bro. Like I'm not into
Listen,
that.
get this.
I haven't been to South America, no.
Get this. South America. It's probably not a very well known fact, but you go to South America, you go to a hotel, right? Because of their plumbing, it's pretty poor. You can't flush the toilet paper. So
What do you do with the toilet paper? Put it in
there's
a bin.
a bin next to the toilet.
Yuck.
So you are confronted with wiping yourself and then taking your shitty toilet paper out of the bowl area. Like normally you just
All right,
wipe and drop
stop.
out of the
I
bowl.
can't.
You got to put it in the bin.
I can't.
You put it in a bin
So
next to you.
Each bin that you put it in, do you wrap up the plastic bag and then throw it?
No,
So
it's
it
got
just
like a
sits
lid on
there.
it and shit.
Oh, yuck!
Yeah.
Let me
There's
ask you
people's
this.
poo paper in the bin next to the toilets.
Do you know what's an interesting thing
But
as
obviously,
well?
you're the first one in the hotel room. But if you're sharing a room,
Yeah, nah. Yeah,
someone takes a deuce.
Let's say you've met a woman where, man, you take them back and then you... Fucking this vice beer is fucking me up, bro. I'm fucking... yeah, then it's gross. Wait, let me ask you this. I've never in my entire life seen or ever used a bidet. Have you used a bidet before?
What's a bidet?
Where
where the
ass-
screen.
Yeah, the shit.
Yeah.
Have you used
in
one?
Germany, I haven't used it, like not
You've
for
seen one.
washing my ass, but I've definitely seen it.
Here's
and
the
I've been like,
thing.
what the hell?
I don't know how it works. So, like, the water sprays the shit off your asshole, and then do you have to use toilet paper to dry it, or like what? Because
the
here's
thing
the thing:
is, you're
is
not
like,
supposed to use paper.
so it's like, do you disinfect? Is it like whatever you're using to wipe your ass afterwards? Is it
I
disinfectant?
would think it's far superior, right? So, like for instance, the Japanese, they got that shit figured out. You squat, it fucking washes your asshole, it sprays you with like
but here's
body
the thing.
temperature warm water.
I don't want to cut you off. Hold that thought. But here's the thing. I just don't understand the logistics. Does the water?
Yeah, I'm getting into the logistics.
Does the water spray your balls? Does it trickle past?
Does it spray everywhere?
Does it
I don't know.
spray on your legs? Do you leave the bidet with like wet underwear? Like what the fuck is it?
Maybe they take off their pants completely, hang it on a hook, and then.
All right, really quick. Hear me out.
Because imagine showering.
I am, and I shouldn't be saying this because this is a very personal thing, and like people may use this against me in the future. I'm a shirt taker offerer when I shit.
What?
I'm a shirt taker offerer, yeah.
You take your shirt off when you take a dump.
Every time.
Every time.
So
hang on.
I'm at work. I take my my vest off. I take my.
You're wearing this.
No.
You would unbutton all your buttons.
I'd never wear this to work because my job's very like highbrow. I would unbutton every button, take it off, hook it up, no shirt, take a shit, and then when I'm done, it started off as like I've never done anything gross like shat on my own shirt, but I just don't like the feeling. And another thing is like when I'm at home, I'll go butt naked, right? Because here's the thing: when
you take your pants off completely.
when your pants are around your ankles, you can't spread your legs because there's like
you gotta get stretchy pants.
I like to, I like to be butt naked because when I'm at home, I'm only really wearing like, like track pants or something anyway. So like, I like to stretch out butt naked, sit there, breathe. I'm fresh. I'm open. I'm fucking loving it, son. I'm loving it. When I'm at work, obviously I have to contend with the pants around the ankles, but like, bro, I'm a no top shitter because I can just sit there like this, right? I don't have to sit there and hold my shirt, hold it above, wipe my ass with one hand and juggle my fucking shirt in the other.
I've never had that issue.
Because look, two hands, pull the toilet paper, snap square off, wipe. But if I'm holding
a folder or a scruncher?
I'm folder, obviously. But if I'm holding my shirt, then I have to one hand it. I don't know
if I hold my shirt. I feel like I do this. I don't even know.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I'm imagining a toilet, going to the toilet now. I feel like I sit and then I put the shirt up, put it to the front, and then it just hangs there. Like the gravity holds my shirt.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like I still don't like that.
You don't trust the gravity.
What happens if like something out of the blue, like maybe like I don't know. I'm just afraid the shirt will get scuffed or it might stink or something like that. So like,
yeah,
it is what it is. But
speaking of shit, though.
Okay, all right.
How fucked is your day, or how much does your day get ruined when you step into dog shit? Oh,
bro, I haven't stood on dog shit in so long.
I stood on dog shit about 4 days ago.
At the park?
No, on my way to work. So
on your way to work? No.
Listen to this story.
No.
I'm wearing...
And there was no taps around. And you can drag your foot on grass all you want, but that shit...
I have a motorcycle. I work somewhere where there's like no parking on the streets. It's all paid parking, but motorcycles, they have free zones. So I got a motorbike.
Free zone.
It's raining. So I'm like, I can't catch the bike. I'll have to catch a fucking bus. I'll be a bus wanker. So I wear the whitest sneakers I have.
No.
All white.
Lacoste or something?
No, they're Nikes, but they're
Nikes,
just
yeah.
all
Swag.
white, like, what are they called?
World
Mesh sneakers?
Cup. Yeah.
Mesh sneakers. And I am a bus wanker. I get off the bus, but when I catch the bus, it's a longer walk to the office. So I'm walking along the street. I've got my earbuds in, which I don't do when I'm riding the bike because I just got the helmet on. It takes me like 6 minutes. Walking, listening to stuff, not focusing. Must have stepped in dog shit on the way walk to the office.
You didn't feel the...
No, because it must have been like semi-dry already.
Okay.
I get in. I don't smell anything either. I get in, set up. We have like a morning meeting. I walk into this meeting. There's no chairs left. Everyone's sitting around this table. I'm standing near the window and I'm listening. They're talking, blah, 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 giving updates. And I look down and I just see like some dirt on the side of my shoe. And I was like, oh,
You couldn't smell it at this point?
No. So I'm like, what
Thank
the fuck?
God.
So I lift up my shoe and I see just like caked on, but like dirt and like grass and shit over the top of it. So you
that
couldn't
was
smell
masking
it.
the
It was
smell.
It was sealing it.
Were you
And
like... So when you're
and I was
walking...
like,
Because you can feel when like your step's off. When you've got something under your foot. How did you not feel that, Philip?
That's what I think. Every other time I feel like I felt it, but this time it must have just been like a little dry nuggie that's just gone. He's doing it. He's coming again. The nuggie. Little dry nuggie of dog poop. The dry nuggie.
Don't try to make me spit this beer out. A dirty little nug on the shitter, yeah.
So it was the worst, man. It ruined my fucking morning because I saw it and I was like,
As soon as you saw it, did you go to the lunchroom and like peel it off with a fork?
I was in mid meeting, so I was like,
What did you do? And like, let me ask you this: did you retrace your steps back and like try to see if there was like shit walked around?
No, it's like a 10-minute walk. I'm not walking back up there. So,
bro, what did you do? How did you?
I
remove
stood
it?
in the meeting and I looked down and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! And the meeting finished and I was just like, all right, and I hobble because I'm only half stepping on that shoe now. I'm like, I don't want to get shit all over the place.
Phil, you're right. Did you hurt your ankle? You're like, yeah, I was
Shut the fuck up.
playing basketball last night.
Down the elevator, get outside on the street, the curbs there. I take my shoe off and I just like smack it on the curb, trying like, and I was like, no, it's not doing it.
It was in the grooves.
And
now.
I go to like a little tree, I get a little branch, and I'm trying to, and as I'm picking it
Can
off.
you smell it at this point?
Oh yeah, because as I'm picking it off, I'm picking off the seal, and then you just got the fucking
seal?
fresh shit. And I was like, no! So now I don't even want to walk on it. So I put it back on and I'm like, hobbling back up. Luckily, I've got like some gym shoes in my drawer. So I take the white sneakers off, put the gym shoes on, get a little fucking plastic bag from in one of the drawers, put the shoes in there. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm going to have to clean them at home when I get to like a tap downstairs with high pressure water. And one of the girls is like, what's going on? And I was like, I stepped in fucking dog shit. She's like, oh, you're going to have to go to Woolies, buy a toothbrush. I was like, I'm not buying a toothbrush. Went to gym at lunch. And I was like, I really feel like a Powerade after gym. It was a bad session. I was feeling knackered. I was like, I need some electrolyte. Went to Woolies. I was like, may as well get a toothbrush. Went into the bathrooms and just like toothbrushed the shit off my shoe. I was
Bro, you buy like a little bottle of Listerine? Wait, for real? Before you even said you went out and picked it off, I thought for sure you were going to say, I went to the local supermarket and just fucking got like antibacterial wipes.
I hate it.
Yeah.
The other time previous.
Could you, once you finished picking it off with that stick, could you smell it? Was it predominant?
Yeah, man.
So you had to go back into the office with that stank.
Yeah. That's why I got the bag and just like tied the shoe up in the bag.
So you're walking around in your
"Bleh."
socks or something.
No, I had the gym shoes.
The flat.
No, I had like different gym sneakers that I just keep at work. Like,
was anyone questioning you?
Yeah, because I was wearing fucking white socks with like black sneakers, and I was like, "Yeah, they're my gym shoes. Shut the fuck up. What's up?"
Yeah, that's World Cup. Yeah,
but my work, we're just like casual wear. I don't wear the button-up shirt. So I mean, if I was a shirt-off shitter, it'd be very easy for me, you know.
Oh yeah.
I'd just be t-shirt off, boom,
bro. It's I don't know. So like, I've always been when I was.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, when I was younger, a dart
scooter.
When I was younger, I was cleaning downstairs with my brothers, and one of my brothers threw a dart into the dartboard and it was rusted and old and it got dug into my leg. Like he threw it and I walked past and I was like, you fucking threw a fucking dart into my leg. And we were laughing about it and I pulled it out. That got infected. Oh, sorry, I'm fixing my genitals. That got infected and I ended up getting like a boil.
Oh,
have you had a boil before?
Yeah.
Bro, and they're like,
I feel like I've never had a proper boil, but
it wasn't like a lump. It was just like my it was looked like I had fucking like a hole in my leg, and it got worse. And I didn't realize it was contagious.
Really?
Yeah.
So, I didn't realize it till now.
And like it was like, so I had this thing on my leg. It was painful. I went upstairs. I used to like drink out of the milk carton like kids do. You don't pour a glass. Because my family used
Drinking
that milk
straight
carton.
up milk.
Yeah. Old school, yeah.
Old school.
I haven't drank cow's milk in like 7 years, bro. For real. Yeah. So because I drank that, I basically shed. It must have been in my blood, in my saliva.
Got boils?
Everyone got like just random boils appeared on my whole family had to get lanced boils. My dad had one on his gut. My mum had a calf muscle. One of my brothers nearly got one on his face.
Oh.
So ever since then, I've been like crazy clean freak.
Yeah.
Like
about germs and stuff.
Like, bro, like I'll sit there and like wash my hands with anything, like just crazy clean freak. And for some reason, I need to take my shirt off when I shit.
It's so just wild to me.
Yeah. But next time, because you work casually at work and you don't have to unbutton a bunch of shirts, I challenge you next time at work. Take a shit.
I've shat with my shirt off because I walk around my home with no shirt on.
Do you know what I think it was? Do you know what I think where it really came from?
Have you seen my physique, bro?
I have, unfortunately. Here's the thing real quick, right? I'll tell you where it really came from though. I was a at-home shirt taker offerer, but when I was working in the early 2011, 2012 to maybe 13, 2012 to 14, when I was working at the theme parks, Wet n Wild and Movie World. When I was working at Wet n Wild, thank you, yeah, there we go, that's louder. When I was working at Wet n Wild, it would be like hot summer days, and the only toilets for the warehouse people back there was like almost like
yuck.
It wasn't like
Portaloos.
No, it wasn't a portaloo. It was like
little shed,
like a shed thing. Yeah, so we'd have to go in there. Everyone I worked with had to take their top off because you were sweating while you were shitting. And
is that where you learnt it?
Yeah, that's where I learned it.
Got into the habit?
That's where I learnt it. And ever since then, I've never changed, bro. Never changed, yeah. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Prost.
Thank you very much.